Well, it was a beautiful venue. It was a wonderful night. It had a breeze. And when you perform and there's a breeze, you feel free. A very good audience, a very emotional, passionate audience. And a concert is a cycle or is a circle. You, as the performer, you give out. And if the audience is there for the right reasons, the audience gives back. And I felt their love, they felt mine. So it was a very lovely concert.
Your history in the music, it's fantastic. But what's your next dream?
Well, one always is on a journey, and at the moment I am promoting Bloody Rain, which is our album that's influenced by African music, and that is what everybody heard last night. In October, I release an album with the wonderful Italian guitarist Antonio Forcioni, and it's an album of voice and guitar, and our special guests are a cello, acoustic bass, and percussion. So in October and November and December, I'll probably be promoting this album. But I'm in the middle of writing a new album with Tony, with Tim, with the group. And that will be coming out probably sometime next year. I'm also, in 3 years' time, I'm going to be 60. And I want to write a book, I want to write an autobiography, but I also want to write a one-woman theatre show and make a CD that is part of celebrating being 60. You know, I'm 57 now, and I don't want it to be something I dread. I want it to be something I celebrate. I think every decade one should be embracing going into the next decade. I'm being, since we've left the EU, I'm already in discussion with many musicians and singers to try to make an album which is about positivity, is about unity. And it's a very difficult time now, particularly in England, but it will have its repercussions around the world. And I think now is the time to engage and use music as a tool to educate and open doors.
During the concert, you spoke about migrants, war, violence against women, etc. But your music is different because it's not only music, it's a communication.
Yes, it's my expression. I write songs. I write the human story. I tell my own story and I tell other people's stories. I'm a big fan of Tom Waits, and I've noticed that Tom Waits writes that which he sees, the extraordinariness in people. Sometimes it's the eccentricity, and sometimes it's the beauty. I'm not a political songwriter because I haven't studied politics, and I don't have the answers. But I pose many questions when I write a song. I always write songs with other musicians. There's a song on Bloody Rain, the last song on the album that I wrote with Tim Kensfield. Now Tim, my other guitarist, is from Trinidad, and he has a history of calypso. And we felt that it was wrong to write a song about the spreading of AIDS in Africa with an African melody. We felt it pointed too many fingers. And so we set it as a calypso. And with his experience, it was what I needed. I didn't have that experience. And we turned it into a humorous song. But the message was, use a condom. It can be used for contraceptive purposes, this song, but it particularly was written about the spreading of HIV in South Africa particularly. I find that if you want to put a message over, the best thing is to have a beautiful melody. If you have a melody that people remember, bit by bit, the lyric will sink in and they will remember it, but it won't be what is hitting them over the head. It will be seduction. I think it's the best way to put something over is by seduction through music.
During the concert, you called fans to dance. You call the fans all the time in the concert.
To get up and dance. It depends on the situation. If one is in a tiny club where everybody is sitting down and there is no room to dance, then usually by the end of the concert I get them standing up so that they can join in by standing up. In a theatre, often you're told you're not allowed to get people to come down. But our music, especially the album with the African rhythms, you want to dance, you want to move. And as soon as you see people moving their legs, you know they want a release. Also, when I do Don't Leave Me This Way, it's a dance song, it's a disco song originally. So you want people to get up and be able to celebrate. But more than get people up to dance, I like to get people to sing with me. Because I think the combination of voices and everybody being able to put their voice to something, whether they're a good singer or not, it's about the union. It's wonderful to get people together. Music is a release.
You speak very often about union, and what about Brexit?
I personally voted to remain. I have some very intelligent fans who've been Facebooking me constantly, giving me the reasons why they voted to leave. But I think in most cases what happened is the government, it exploited and gave the vote to the ill-educated public. They didn't have the facts. They fed them the idea of immigration. And they let rather ignorant people go with this information. They weren't given the facts. We know very little, really. We're all pawns in a game. I see myself as a member of I am a world member. I'm a European member. I don't see myself as British. I have Irish blood, Scottish blood, Cornish blood. And I have loved the freedom that I have had to be able to travel. I think travel is the best education anyone can have. And I feel very sad that our children have had that taken away from them. We can live side by side. We do live side by side. There hasn't been a war in our lifetime because of being a member of the European Union. I am a little worried about what will happen, not just for financial reasons, but when you feed that kind of small-minded protection, put the walls up, it's bad news. I can't believe that in 2016 my country has chosen this.
What about Italy?
What about Italy? Well, Italy is my second home. And most of my friends and other musicians and other singers are very jealous of my connection with Italy. Every musician needs a country that gets them. I was very lucky I got Italy. Italy has to be one of the most beautiful countries in the world. It has such a history, such culture. It's a very complicated country. It has a history of corruption, but it has the best food in the world. It has the most beautiful vistas and a wonderful, passionate public. I think here in Italy, just the same as right across Europe, the government is not perfect. There seems to be, right the way through Europe, a leaning to the right wing. I think you have terrible television. I think England has now got bad television, but Italy has always had bad television. I think your film industry is good. I love Italy. Italy gets me. Italy doesn't judge me. I love my Italian audience, and we love coming here. And I think what Italy likes in me is the fact that I'm not sophisticated. I don't wear designer clothes. I'm very different to I'm real. I'm not worried. I'm not frightened about being who I am. I don't cover myself in makeup. I don't pretend to be any age other than that which I am. I share my thoughts, my beliefs. I dare to say that I'm in the middle of menopause. I think the Italian public likes my honesty. And also, I think they like the fact that I'm Irish. I think the Italians and the Irish have a real connection.
Thank you. See you next time.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much. Goodbye. Arrivederci.